Normally I would ask you how you're doing, but you are under the weather, my friend.
The last time I was really under the weather was COVID, so I was due.
COVID, that's a long time
Yeah,
ago. That's like years ago.
I know. And I thought about the other day, and I did it's kind of nail in the coffin. I was like, man, you know what? I haven't really been sick in a long time.
There you go. You messed it up. Jinx
Yep.
yourself.
So
All right. Well, I'm in a good mood because it's Friday. Um, I like Fridays, you know, not because um, there's the weekend, but uh, there's good and bad, right? I don't like the weekends because the market is closed and I don't get to watch the stocks go up and down.
right.
But as an option seller, I love the weekend because the market is closed and I get that extra 2 days of theta decay.
Theta's a beautiful thing.
And we're heading into the long weekend, so we get 3 days of extra theta decay. So I'm happy about that. It's going to be a good thing. Um, and people always ask, like, "Hey, how does that work? Right? How does theta decay work on the weekends, on extra holidays? Like, um, it's an interesting thing because it's something that we all like it's part of our trading, right? So it's like, okay, you sell the option, it loses value every single day. Okay, how much value does it lose? Well, there's a formula for that. Okay, but the inputs of the formula are volatility and price and days expiration and closeness to the money and all this stuff. So it's like, okay, how do we know? And the fact of the matter is we don't really know. You could try
Right.
to analyze it and be like, okay, I'm going to get this much theta decay, but that's if everything stays exactly the same, which there's no
Which
way
just
it's
doesn't
going
happen.
to.
Which doesn't happen.
So really what happens is that, it's not that the theta decay happens over the weekend. It's it's run by the computers of the market makers. So depending on the exchange, right? NASDAQ doesn't really have uh, physical market makers. They have computers. The Dow still has, I believe, physical, like real people market makers, but most of the computers handle theta decay because it's such a complicated issue. So what happens is that on Friday, and again, this is depending on the company that is the market maker and how they work, but they start taking some of the premium out of the option. So, for example, this is a 3 day weekend coming up. So they're going to look at it and be like, okay, they've already, they've done this a million times already. So they know what they're doing. And they've already formulated that, okay, by the end of today, by the end of Friday, we're going to have to take out this much of premium out of all the options. And so, if it's not like you're going to lose value on Saturday or Sunday or Monday, just the value changes dramatically. If you look at the close on Friday and you look at the open on Monday, if there's not much of a change, you're going to see the options didn't really change in price. And people are like, well, what happened? What happened to the theta? I was like, oh, it's already taken out. You missed it. It was on a Friday.
What time about Friday?
Again,
Is
it
it?
depends on the company. And
Yeah,
they
does.
really do not, they don't like disclose this kind of stuff.
Of course, right. That's so interesting.
So you can like dig in and try to do the research and try to figure it out. And depending on the market maker, some of them try to do it like after lunch. Some of
Mhm.
them do it at the end. Some of them do it all day long. I think the all day long one is the most balanced because it's like, they take out, okay, let's take out $3 this hour and then a couple dollars over here and then $2 over here. And so it's not that big of a change. You won't really notice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, they don't want to impact the market. They don't want to change things up. But as a seller, right, if you were to try to capitalize on theta decay on the weekend, you would want to be in the trade probably Friday morning, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, or depending, like Thursday at the close or Friday morning. I'd like to get in Friday morning, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, not have that overnight risk or whatever, but and then see how it goes. Now in futures options, right? There's the the leverage is much higher, and so there's a lot more theta decay. So you might actually see the theta decay come out. You might see it on your P&L. So like for example, let's say you sold an oil option and oil's not doing anything, right? It's flat. It hasn't moved much, but all of a sudden your option is worth, your profit is up a couple $100. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's your theta decay for the weekend. Congratulations. You got it on
Yeah,
Friday.
that's
So
interesting.
yeah, that's
So
cool.
maybe you can time it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some way to game it, and I'm sure, some of these hedge funds with really sophisticated computer systems are doing that. Uh, get in on a Friday, sell an option on a Friday, get out on a Monday. Again, for us individual traders, you have commissions and the bid and ask spread and all that stuff. So it really determines like if we're closed for like a week, oh yeah, maybe it would make sense. But just for
Yeah.
the weekend, probably not enough there to overcome all the costs and fees. Uh, but if we were a larger fund that had, a lot of money and we didn't have those same fees and whatnot, then yeah, they could probably make some money off of it. It wouldn't be, well, depending on how much it is. If they do it every weekend, that might be a pretty good strategy, you know. So, and then they have leverage as well. So, there was one hedge fund manager I was listening to, and he's like, I only need 3%. I only need 3% return on my strat. Because once I find something that can make me 3% in a year, then I leverage it up 10 times and I turn it into 30%.
Hmm.
I was like, wow, 3%, that's like really low, right? I mean, that's a really low percentage,
Yeah,
but
that's not much.
but that's like pretty safe, right? I mean, it's like I can be really, 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 really safe and make 3% and then still have that leverage, 10x leverage and get 30% out of it. So we got a comment that my microphone is actually horrible.
I
So
hear you pretty
yeah,
well.
yeah, you can hear me? Okay. Well, I mean, he's saying we got a comment that is horrible. So let me see if I can switch it up. Let me change microphone. Uh, and
All right. Let me know if that's any
Oh
better.
yeah, oh yeah, way better.
Oh, much better.
You sound
Okay.
like you're in the room now.
All right. Well, that's what he was saying. All right. No problem. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. All
So
right.
do
So,
you, yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you have a favorite hedge fund manager that you like to follow?
um, not off the top of my head.
No?
Um, there's some guys that are really, really good.
Like a Ray
Um,
Dalio?
Ray Dalio's retired,
Hmm.
right? He's out of
Yeah,
there. But he switched over to quant stuff, so you can't really follow that. Jim Simmons was the master at the quant stuff.
yeah.
He's still they never disclosed it, but there was a guy who did a lot of research into him and wrote a book about him. And that author said that they did an average of about 66% before fees. But again, their fees were like 50% of profit. So, after that, you walked away with about 35%. But that's still pretty good,
Not too
year after
shabby.
year. That's still pretty good. So people loved him. If you could get in, they were closed for a while to the public. Um, Paul Tudor Jones is
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
is a
good
pretty
one.
good one. There's so many of them. Um, I was actually reading today that do you remember the giving pledge where all the billionaires would sign it and they'd say and they pledged to give away half of their money before they died? Do you remember that one? Like the Bill
No,
Gates.
actually I don't.
No, Bill Gates came out with that with
Okay.
the Gates.
Right, the Gates Foundation.
And the whole idea was, we have all this money. If we give it away while we're alive, it'll do a lot of good because it can start doing good now. If you wait till you're dead, then it's another, 20, 30 years before it actually does any good in the world.
That makes
So
sense.
they came out with this thing called the Giving Pledge. They went to all these billionaires and they said, hey, you need to give away half your money before you die and sign this thing. And they made a big hoopla about it. It's 15 years old now.
Wow.
And so there's a few guys who did some research into it to see, hey, did this make any difference? And they came out and they said, there's actually over 200 billionaires that have signed the pledge. Since then, like 22 of them have died. Out of that, only 8 of them actually gave away half of their money. There's only been one person, one billionaire who's given away, who's still alive, by the way, who has given away half his money. And I don't remember the guy's name, but he was a hedge fund manager. So
Really? All right.
there's
I
2 points for hedge fund managers.
think you're going to find a lot about these different hedge fund managers through that
Yeah,
process.
he gave away about $5 billion. So he's still alive and he gave that money away. He's the only one that's still alive and gave away half of his money. Um, there's been one billionaire, Chuck Feeney, who
Mhm.
gave away all his money before he died. Now, I don't know, they mentioned him, but he was giving away his money well before this giving pledge even came about. I happened to read a book about this guy and I was like floored, like, because you've never heard of him. Nobody's ever heard of this guy. This guy
Yeah.
made money. Whenever you go to the airport, uh, there are these little shops that are like called duty free.
Yep.
And they
I
have
went
all
through
these,
them. I went through them on my trip.
yeah, they have all this expensive stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm not a big traveler. I didn't even know what the heck duty free was. I was like, why is anybody going to buy all this stuff at the airport? It's,
There are tons of people
uh,
that will. Yeah.
but Chuck Feeney is the guy who started those shops, and he made billions and billions of dollars just riding this roller coaster of duty free. And then he's like, well, I don't need any of this, so he gave it all away before he died,
I
and
think it's very, very admirable. I mean, you can't take it with you,
he died
right?
penniless. So
I
um,
mean,
it's awesome.
no, I think
But
so
I
too.
bring this up only because we're talking about hedge fund guys, and I don't know the guy's name who gave all the the 5 billion away, but he's the only one so far.
Well, we'll have to do a little search, and I'm sure we'll find it.
Yeah. Now since um Amazon's wife got divorced, or what was it, Bezos, right? When his wife divorced him, she got half the money. She
Mhm.
got half the billions, and she's been giving it away like crazy.
That was the best trade ever.
Yeah, but yeah,
Best trade ever.
she's been giving away the money like crazy. So that's good for her. Now big news today, right? Market's down considerably. No, not considerably, but SPX is down 44 points, which is 0.7%. RUT's down 0.6%. Oil's down 1%. NASDAQ is down 1.25%. Dow Jones down less than a quarter. Gold is up. VIX is at 15.6. Bitcoin's down 3.5%. So things are down, and your first inclination is like, hey, why are they down today? What happened? Right? We hit an all-time high yesterday.
Yeah.
All markets hit all-time highs yesterday. Today we're down. Is it because we hit all-time highs? Well, let's check the news. And in the news, what was the biggest news? Well, inflation report came out today.
Mhm.
And we're at 2.9%, which is higher than the Fed wants.
Yeah.
They want to be at 2, but it actually went up. It was like 2.7,
2.8 actually.
2.8
And it's
before,
up to 2.9.
and it
So
went up. It went up a little bit.
yeah.
And so you might be thinking, wow, that's it. That's the reason. That's the reason we went down today, because inflation went up 0.1%. And I would say, no, that's not it. That was expected. People expected it to go up. Everybody knows things are getting more expensive. The news, you mentioned it earlier, right? There are a couple of news stories that came out that are showing that things are getting more expensive. People are cutting back on spending. And so you would say that, oh, okay, well, the inflation is, if it's not the inflation, then what is it? Now, you check the news, you check CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, whatever, all the headlines, they're going to be talking about inflation. Oh, inflation, inflation. What about the Fed? What's the Fed going to do? Are they going to lower rates? Are they going to cut rates? Are they going to raise rates? I don't know what they're going to do. Because they have to come up with something. They have to be talking about something.
The talking heads got to be
That
talking about
they got to
something.
be talking. That's what they
Yeah.
get paid for. I mean, if they don't talk, then the advertisers don't give them any money. So they have to be talking about something. There has to be something, right? And so they're going to make up news stories. They're going to tell you this, this, the other thing. But if you look under the hood, it's like, okay, if this was expected, then why'd the market go down? And I'm going to point to something which it might not be the exact cause or 100% of the cause, but today happens to be the end of the month and
Mm.
the end of the quarter. Now, that is always a big day. That is always usually a day when the market is selling off because it's the end of the quarter, right? The people, the market, the bigger hedge funds, the mutual funds, the ETFs, they're all rearranging. They all have to report their numbers at the end of the quarter. They have
Take
to
the
tell
profit.
all they all have to tell their people what they're invested in
Mhm.
at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, right? They have to put out the report like, oh, we own 52% of this stock and 25% of this stock. And a lot of times what happens, and this happened a lot in the mutual funds, is that let's say there's a mutual fund that is I don't know, small cap mutual fund, right? So they only invest in small companies. That's what they're supposed to. And so let's say,
Supposed to.
yeah, that's what they're supposed to. But let's say small cap companies and smart their stocks are not doing very well, right? Now these guys they have to still do well, so they might buy some Facebook or Google or Amazon or Apple or something, even though those are not small cap companies, but they don't have to report it until the end of the quarter,
Mhm.
the last day at the close. And so let's say they own a bunch of Amazon or Facebook and they're like getting because those are going up and they're getting the gains. So then today they're like, uh-oh, yeah, we have to get rid of all this stuff because otherwise people are going to know that we bought this stuff. So they sell all of it on the last day of the quarter. And then at the close, they take their report and they're like, okay, this is all the stuff we own. Here you go, compliance. This is what we own. You can go ahead and make your marketing reports and everything and show what we own. And
So
that's how they get around. So interesting, but I think that is why the market is down today. A lot of times, the news they have to come up with something. They have to come up with something. And today, I think it is the end of the day. So, given this theory, I'll call it a theory that today is down because the end of the quarter. What do you think is going to happen on Monday?
I think that, I mean, barring any kind of event, I think they're just going to pile back in. I
Yep.
mean, yeah, that's,
I agree. I agree.
yeah,
I agree. I bet you that we go up on Monday. One,
because the
because
trend has not changed, right? I mean, it's been steadily up
yeah,
over the last,
nothing fundamentally has changed.
no.
We're still in the same spot. So I do believe Monday will be an up day. I believe everybody will be getting in back on Monday. Um, and I also know that it is the first day of a new month and the first day of a new quarter. So that brings in a lot of saver money, which is people with the 401ks and the work IRAs and all
They're
the other
ready to
stuff.
deploy. They're ready to deploy the capital.
Yeah, because they just set it up and say, okay, every month on the first, take out, $500 or whatever and put it in the stock market, put it into ETFs, put it into this. And that just money just comes. So all that money's coming in, especially because it's the first of the quarter, it might have a little bit more than the first of the month. And then you also have everybody piling in from today that's going back in. So I do think Monday's going to be an up day. And because of that, I'm happy that we got a market power signal today. Um, and so I think that trade is going to be, I mean, I can give my opinion, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a slam dunk. I think it's going to be an easy one because so the trade is going And I like these type of trades like the one we have today. Today we're going to be selling puts. And I like to be selling on the other side of what the trend is. So the trend is higher. I love it when we're selling puts if the trend is higher. I get
Right.
nervous when the market is going up and we're
Sure.
selling calls. Those are the ones I get
Right.
nervous
Well,
about.
we talked a little bit about that. So like when they're having for instance, we all know that they're going to cut rates, right? So the expectation is that the rates are going to be cut. So every time that the Fed talks, we're anticipating this rate cut, right? And we get every time now that we're like, okay, they didn't cut, we're a little disappointed, and then just kind of builds and builds and builds. So I think this first rate cut that they actually do, I think the market will take off. So that's a trade that I would be very cautious about being into. I think a little bit. It's my opinion.
So you think when they cut rates, market is going to rise?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Good.
I said the opposite. I said
I,
that we're going to go into the rate cut up, and then when they cut, then we'll probably go down.
I don't know. I would argue that um, I think it's not every Fed meeting is, they're not all created equal, right?
Hmm.
Uh, I think that there's a buildup to this one, and sometimes that could be just a way that we talked about deploying capital. I think it could be a multi-day event.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
what I'm thinking on this one. I wouldn't
Yeah.
think so normally, if they're just having another, scheduled Fed meeting and it wasn't this case and we didn't have this anticipation of the rate cut, I
Right.
think it could be different.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if they cut like a quarter, that's expected. If they
Yeah, I
cut,
think that that will be the case.
if they
But
cut half, I don't know what's going to happen. Right?
yeah.
Because it's like, uh-oh. It's
That's a
like,
little gasoline on the fire,
yeah.
It's,
I mean, market might knee-jerk reaction. It might be higher, like the financial stocks and all those are going to be higher just because, oh, hey, it's much cheaper to make money now. But then eventually people are going to be like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, is the Fed scared? Is it like, why are we,
right.
do
I
we need,
mean, who knows, right? We don't know the minutes till after and actually happened. But
yeah,
I think that is my theory at least, that it could be a trade that I would be cautious of. A
yeah,
little more cautious than usual.
yeah. And it's going to be
As opposed to
interesting.
what you're saying right now with this one. Like, I like that
Yeah.
you're selling puts.
Yeah. So today, hopefully, I want to keep I hope the signal stays. We are at, what were we at? Like 16, 17, 18 in a row?
17, I believe is what you said.
17 in a row, market power winners. So let's make this 18. Um, it'll be the last one for the month, and it was a pretty busy month. We had a good, I think, six
Yeah.
trades this month.
Yeah.
That's a good amount.
More towards
Uh,
the average.
yeah. And so, yeah, that's going to be fun. I mean, even if we lose the signal, if it's close, I might still put it on.
Ah, all right.
Maybe, maybe.
Alan's ready to trade today.
I like itching. I'm itching to put a trade. So, yeah, so market power is doing great. And the thing with the Fed, obviously it's been all over the news. They keep talking about it. The lady, the Fed governor Cook, right? She tried to get a cheaper interest rate on a mortgage by saying that her second house was her first house, or it's like,
Unbelievable.
okay, yeah, we know what that is.
Are we not surprised anymore about anything? I'm just not.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because on those forms, like I used to be in the mortgage business, and on the forms it says, lying on this form is a federal offense.
Yeah,
But it's like,
not for her.
why? Like, why is this a federal offense? I mean, I get it. You're kind of cheating the bank a little bit. You're lying. But I mean, hello, have you seen these no doc loans and these subject to loans and all this other
Oh yeah.
stuff? It's like people were claiming all kinds of stuff, and you're lying because you wanted to get a cheaper rate on a secondary house. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The big thing is, okay, is she going to be able to vote?
Hmm.
Is she still going to be in the position, or will Trump already have replaced her? I don't know. I don't think he'll be able to
They got to
replace
go
her.
through the whole court situation first.
I don't know.
How long is
Uh,
that going to take, right?
I mean, they fired the CDC person like 2 days ago. the head of the
Yeah, I would like to have
CDC.
someone ahead of the CDC, to be honest with
Well,
you.
well, they fired that person, and then
Yeah.
they replaced her with somebody else yesterday. But that lady is like, no, I'm still here. This is still my job. I haven't quit yet. I haven't left yet. You can't fire me. So it's like, now there's two people on the head of the CDC at the same time. So like, are we gonna have an extra Fed governor or no Fed governor? If we have no Fed governor, then I don't know if she's gonna be able to vote or not. So
I will say that Trump is really contesting people about what the rules that we have in place are they actually legit?
yeah,
Like
he's
whether
like,
you
I'm
can
I'm
really
gonna
do
do what I
something.
want, and then
Right.
if you don't like it, go to court.
He's stress testing the whole legal system.
I think that's the way he works.
Yeah,
I
he is.
mean, at any time, if you check his properties or you check his name, and he has like hundreds and hundreds of cases running all the time.
All the
He
time.
is he is a lawyer's best friend, you know?
Yeah, you definitely want to be a Trump's lawyer. I mean, it's never ending business.
Yeah.
I don't think ChatGPT or I don't think AI can catch up to him.
Oh man. And then today is the last day of the month, and so that brings us to the results show of the SmackDown, the first Option Genius SmackDown. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the list of.
I was wrong on Chipotle.
Oh, I think we were wrong on a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, but didn't quite make the turn I anticipated.
All right, let me share my screen. All right. And okay. Meta. How'd Meta do? Meta today, 738.92, down 6%.
Okay.
174.23, flat.
Hey, pretty
And
good.
Chipotle, 42.08, down 3.
-9.
Nice. I think you won. I think you won.
We'll see. Yeah, with crypto being down today.
Whoops. I lost on one stock. Well, I had one winner.
Yeah,
Let's see
gee.
how Hood did. 103.42. Yeah,
Nice.
-5. So yeah, got my butt kicked. All right. I took a gamble. It didn't work.
But that's you're investing in a stock for a month, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be different if we were doing credit spreads or something like that.
Yeah, well, BMR put spreads on BMR would still be a loser.
Well, that one, yes.
When you go down that much.
Yeah.
Um, uh, so that might be one. I don't know. I mean, I do have a few hundred shares. Um, I've been thinking about what to do with it. I don't want to get out because I do think long term, the story is still
Well,
intact and it's a good story, but
in
uh,
the crypto world, they say that they call October Uptober.
really.
Yep. So you may want to keep it through October. They said
Okay.
seasonally, that's an up month across all of crypto.
Okay.
So maybe you want to exit after that.
Yeah, or I mean, if it's going up, maybe I should get more right now.
Yeah, I mean that's the story. If you can hold on to it.
Yeah. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, congratulations, my friend. You are the winner of the first Option Genius SmackDown.
Thank you.
All right. Woo! I don't have any sound effects, but I would play them for you if I did.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right. So now we're gonna have to come up with something so that the whole audience can play. Um, so and should we do like just 1 month? 1 month is kind of hard, right?
Hmm.
I don't know. We could try because it's September, and then maybe we do 1 month, and then we do October, November, December, like 3 months,
Quarterly, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
We could post the results.
yeah. So we'll see how it goes, and then we'll come up with the rules and we'll put them out there. So, all
Okay.
right. Okay. So that's all I had on my list for stuff today. Anything else?
No, just you know, it's still getting a little tighter out there. They said you know, Nike's laying off 1% of the corporate staff. So, you know, AI is on the move. Um, and then you know, a lot of people don't know the size of NVIDIA, right? That is actually 8% of the entire S&P 500. You know,
8%.
8%. I mean, that is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, you never really think about how big that actually is.
They say over like almost 40% of their revenue comes from two companies. They won't release who it is, but
Right.
that's kind of scary. And it's like,
I
okay,
mean, yeah. I
three
mean,
companies are taking care, they're ruling the
right. I
whole
mean,
S&P 500.
where they central, that's power, right? So, um, to me, that's concerning. You know, you want to
Mm-hmm.
have a free market, and when you have companies like that are so big, you know, I joke about the S&P for what you know, -7, minus the
Mm-hmm.
mag. Um, but it's the truth. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, they said that Mr. Zuckerberg has only given away $10 billion.
Only 10 billion.
Only 10 billion. That is less than he has spent on renovations for his Hawaii complex.
Less than wow.
Yes, he spent more on renovating the complex. He bought a lot of land in Hawaii. Um,
I did hear that. Yeah.
and they've been building
How
stuff.
much do you need, right? I mean, on a basic level.
A
It's
five
amazing.
hundred million dollar yacht.
It's
$500 million yacht.
I don't,
And
you know, I don't want to take, I always want to keep things in perspective. And it's good that he's, you know, you said what, 10 billion, right? But it is, I can't tell people how to live their lives, but wow, I mean, it could be so much more, right? You could do so much more to help people, in my estimation.
mm-hmm, $500 million yacht. And he's got a smaller $50 million yacht that takes him to the big yacht
Yeah.
because the big yacht can't
You
go
got to
everywhere.
tender to the big yacht.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the big yacht can't park everywhere. So you park in the ocean, then you take the little yacht to port.
No, no, he's not driving it.
My God.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the world we live in.
yeah, it's crazy. And um, you know, I was on last Friday I did the show by myself and I was talking about Intel and AI and all that, and I was talking that there are people, billionaires, who are talking about building data centers on the moon
Yeah, that is
for AI. Yeah. And earlier today, I was like, it's like, okay, where are they going to get the energy? Like, where's the energy going to come from? Like
why don't
solar
we prove
power?
that we can get there a few times?
It's like solar
I would
power.
start there, right? Let's talk about
But
that.
then I looked it up and I realized that Mr. Trump, President POTUS, has done an executive order, I believe, in creating a nuclear facility on the moon.
Wow.
So he's told Space Force and NASA and whatever to build a nuclear power plant on the moon.
I mean,
So that's what we're working on right now.
innovation. I mean,
That's nuts.
you always wonder how much we actually, how much they actually know, right? That we don't know already, right? No, it's always a question in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, is it the technology's already there to do that? Are they pretty certain? You know, it's just a headline, right? But it's like, how much is behind it is always my question.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the things that when he first came out, when he started saying stuff, it sounded really nuts. like, oh, we want to take over Greenland. We want Greenland to be part of the US. We want Canada to be part of the US. Um, we're changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of what is it? The Gulf of America, right?
Yeah, I'm right in the
Um,
Gulf of America. Yeah,
and it's like, okay, why? Like, why is he doing it? It's just like ego. That's it. Like he just wants to, is it nuts or is there actually a legit reason behind all this stuff?
right.
And like for Greenland, there is a legit reason. Um, and I don't want to get too much into it now, but like that the North Pole and the ice caps and all those are melting.
Mhm.
And so before Russia could never, because Russia goes, Russia's borders in Siberia, they go all the way to the top. So they didn't have a port up there on the top side.
Mhm.
So they couldn't send their ships and whatever, you know, above the world, above their country and above Europe to America. Well, now that things are melting, it changes things. And there you can now send a ship from the top of Russia over across Europe to America or to Canada because the ice is not as stable all the time anymore. During the winter times it freezes over, but in the summertime you can blast through it. So
Yeah, this.
if if Russia or China or whatever sent stuff with missiles and parked them in the North Pole or parked them in Iceland or Greenland or whatever, those missiles could reach the US mainland.
Yeah,
So that's why it's national security. Um,
but it's like no one, in the news, no one, you didn't hear anyone explain that. I
no,
mean, no.
they did a very bad job explaining
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's just like they showed what the vice president up there walking around and and it's like it becomes like a news story and then it's like no one talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's just like it's big things and then all of a sudden you don't hear about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Well,
do we have gold in Fort Knox? Remember that? It's like, yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna
that
go
was such
check.
that was a huge story. Everybody was up in their arms about like, okay, do we have it? Do we not? Now it's like, oh, who knows? Who cares? We're on to something
Right.
else.
Yep. And so now they have the CIA in Greenland running operations to try to get all the people to switch sides and want to be part of the United States.
Yeah.
So it's funny, but we'll never hear about those operations. They'll be all
No.
classified forever. Um, so, and then the other thing with the Gulf of America, and I don't know how true this is, but there was a report that um, based on international waters, right? The rules of international waters, they changed recently.
Mhm.
And so China could legally, or anybody could legally send their ships into the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to the border, which of international waters, which is like 7 miles out. And we could not do anything about it.
That's frightening.
And so there's some new rule that you have to declare and da da da. And so that's why putting the name of America on the Gulf kind of legally, international legal law stuff, maritime law and all that kind of gives you some protection to say that no, you cannot come in here. So yeah, I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to be. So
So
I don't
where
know
did
how,
you find all this? Were you just reading?
yeah,
Interesting.
I read a lot.
No, yeah,
So
that's,
sometimes they're conspiracy theories, sometimes they're true, sometimes they have the investigative reporting. Um, Somebody comes up with something. So, but yeah, I mean, if they explained that, the Republicans actually explained that part and said, yeah, this is the reasoning, then it would have made a lot more sense. But
all
the way
right.
they did it,
You could just do that.
they just sound crazy.
Yeah, it just sound nuts. It's like, oh yeah, we're just changing the name.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Who cares? Next thing I know, I mean, I live close to the Gulf of America, and there are all these people walking around with Gulf of America shirts now. It's like, and it's like, why, right? What's the actual reason? So
Yep.
I don't know. I think it gets harder and harder to parse out what's true as we move into this new world.
Move on.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, my friend. So we have a nice long weekend coming up. So we're going to end the show a little early today, especially give you a little break. Hope you feel better.
Thank
We
you.
will be back on Wednesday. Hoping market power signals off right now. We're close to it. I have to hopefully we get that back, and then I think it'll be another good trade. Looking for the market to rally on Monday. So we'll see what happens. I might be wrong about that. Never know. I've been wrong before. um, but again, thank you for spending some time with us. Please go ahead and like the YouTube button, the subscribe button, all the other buttons. And we'll be back on Wednesday. If you have any questions, please send them to help@optiongenius.com or put them in the comments. We do read them. So we'll get to you. We'll answer your questions. We've had our crack customer service team of one person combining all the questions
It's
that we've
fantastic.
gotten in the past. Not necessarily from viewers, but just in the past about trading. So we're going to start going through those questions as well on the next show. So that'll be good. Give us more stuff to dive deep into
Yeah,
specific trading issues.
anything they want to talk about, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great.
Yep.
This is the
Uh,
platform.
Yep. And I know I've gotten comments today. We got the comment about the microphone. There was also a comment about the video quality. So we're going to be looking at changing softwares to improve that as well. So we'll keep it improving. Thank you for your comments. Those are the ones that actually tell us how to improve. So from now on, I will be using this mic
No, it looks good.
so that I sound like I'm in the room.
You do. You sound much different than the beginning.
Good, cool. Because the other one was the mic from the camera, so I guess it's a little bit off, not as good. So we got it. Might as well use it. Cool beans. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.
All right.